I wanted to share a quick video about parenting the different types of children because school is about to start. So I was thinking about Michaela going to school because she's about to be in the fifth grade. I don't know when the fuck that happened. And I was just thinking about her experience that she had last year, and it just kind of made me think about her type and stuff. Last year, we had a little issue with Michaela. Well, before I start, Michaela is a projector. So last year, we had an issue with her interacting with different children because we moved. Last year, she went to three different schools in three different states. So she was around a lot of different children and three different environments. So when she came to the place that we're at now, it started off kind of rough because the children here are a little different than the other places we live. And she kind of dealt with, like, people talking behind her back, a little like cattiness. I don't know when that started in the fourth grade, but it did. And I got a call from her teacher maybe like a couple months after she started at this school. And she was just telling me that she felt like we needed to talk to Michaela because she was noticing that she was kind of slipping into the bad crowd. And luckily, I had a teacher that recognized my child and what type of parent I was because she called me right away. And she was just saying, like, this is not the same kid that started. And she was just trying to figure out how we should go about it because she wanted to get Michaela back to herself. She was even explaining to me that she tried to say to Michaela, like, you're changing your behavior to fit in, but other kids should want to be like you. Michaela couldn't see that. So I did have a conversation with her, and I was just letting her know, like, you got to learn to be yourself. You got to learn to be okay with being yourself. And she actually, like, broke down and said to me, that she was kind of changing to fit in because she didn't want people to think that she was weird. Like, she felt weird and because she was different, and she didn't want other kids to see that and basically not want to be cool with her. All that took me to the fact, while I was in the shower, all that took me to the fact that she is a projector. I'm also a projector. And as a projector, we are here to know the other. So as a child, projector children are here to know the other. We're actually not here to know ourselves. We're here to know the other. And projector children, because they're here to know the other, they're more interested in the other. They don't really give a fuck about the qualities they have. They don't really care about how other people feel about them because they are here to know the other. So with Michaela and other projector children, you have to kind of keep them in the right environment to be around the right children. Like, some children, they could be around anyone and it don't really matter. It won't affect them. They can stand on their own too. Like, it doesn't matter who they're around. But with projector children, we want to fit in. We have to be recognized by the other. And sometimes the only way to be recognized by the other is to be like the other. So with projector children, you kind of got to make sure that they're in the right environments. They are around the right children, the right people that you want them to learn from, because we learn who we are through the other. You have to keep them around children that are into the things that you believe they're in. You have to keep them around children who kind of make good decisions. And also, you kind of got to be those people too, because projectors pay close attention to everyone in their surroundings. Your projector child will know you more than anyone on this earth. Like, they pay attention to reactions. They pay attention to thought patterns. They pay attention to behavior. So, like, you can't tell them something and then act another way. You're causing confusion, or they're just not going to believe that your word is your bond. They pay attention to those things. So, like, you kind of got to embody what you want from them. You have to show them, I say this, I do this. I do this, I say this. Like, it all has to connect because you are giving them an impression on the world. Like I said, they're here to know the other. She also, I'm not going to really get into authority, but like, all this kind of helped me with her. Like, Michaela also has splenic authority, but as a projector. So with her, like, I always get upset with her because I'm like, you know better. She's also a 3-5 profile, which means she's a martyr. She learned through trial and error, and then she's a heretic 5, so then she could share that experience with others. But I always get upset with her because I'm like, you know better. Like, I know for a fact that you know better. But you don't always show that in the moment. But because she is splenic awareness, she only knows what she knows in the moment. Each moment is different for her, especially because it's trial and error. Even if she knows something or you tell her something, it's like, but I want to see what's up myself. And then in that moment, she might get the little feeling like I shouldn't do this. But as a child and a trial and error martyr, she's going to do it anyway. So I have to kind of teach her to honor that feeling in the moment. Like if something is telling her that, nah, this ain't it, like you have to trust that. With Manifestor children, that just helped me with her, but I'm going to go into the other types for people who look up their children charts and they want to know how they should go about them. Manifestors are here to know their impact on others. They actually don't really need the other, but that's a lonely life. But they're here to know how they impact others. They are one of the only types who can say that they're going to do something and then they can get it done. Other children, we're all raised to be manifestors. We don't all have manifesting capabilities. Most of us need other types to get what we want. So with manifestor children, they're here to know their impact on the other. You have to teach them to ask. Like, I know that they feel like they know everything and they probably can do most of the things they feel like they can do. But because they have to learn their impact on others, they need to ask. And then with them asking for the things that they want within reason, because, they are usually children. We're talking about kids. They don't really know everything. Within reason, you give a response. And through that response, they'll know how they impact others. So they'll learn early in the game, like, okay, I asked this. And like, I had to work with the person, but at the same time I received. And with manifestors, they get angry if they want to do something and they can't, or if they feel controlled because you tell them what to do. Instead of telling them, like, when you want to do something, just ask. But if they learn to ask first and then see their impact and they see, wow, I can ask and then I can still do this thing, they will find peace because their signature is to find peace. They're not self-themed as frustration. Generator children, they are not here to initiate. They are here to respond. So with them, you should ask. With generator children, it's best that they respond to things. So you should ask them and then they should respond. And with them, they're not self-signature, it's frustration. They can get frustrated because they cannot initiate. They have to wait to respond. So you ask them things, they can respond. And then through that, they can find satisfaction. Reflector children, they're kind of like projectors as non-energy types, but they're not really here. Oh, I'm sorry. And generators, they're here to know themselves. They're not really focused on the other. They couldn't care less about the other. They're actually here to know themselves. And through waiting to respond, through you asking them things, they can find what's for them and they can know themselves through them. The video is cutting short, so I'm going to upload this one and I'm going to get back to it. Reflector children. Like I said before, reflectors are here to know the whole. So with reflector children, their environment and their community is what really matters. With reflector children, they reflect their environment. So if their home life isn't good, they're not going to be good. If their room setting isn't good, they're not going to be good. If the children they're around are not good, they're not going to be good. They like to observe. So with them, they kind of like they're in the middle and they're watching everything go around. And because of all the openness in their centers, because reflectors have no defined centers, they're taking in all of that. And through all of that, they're coming up with their own conclusions about the world. So with them, like projectors, you kind of got to be careful with what you're showing them, the behavior you're presenting, the behavior of people around them. It's not like you got to be perfect, because like you can fuck up and then you can go, like I do this with Michaela a lot. Like if I fuck up, or if I catch myself being upset about something that has nothing to do with her, but like her action is what kind of took me to the extreme, I'll go to her and I'll explain, like, hey, I apologize. Like, that had nothing to do with you. I had my own thing going on. It's not fair for me to take that out on you. Like, I go and I correct myself, and then I don't do the shit again. Like, I don't go back and apologize and then end up doing it again and then apologizing again. I'm not showing her good behavior. So, like, it's not that you have to give these children perfect behaviors, but you have to show them what it's like to be truly human. Like, it's okay to fuck up, but also you have to be mindful of what you're conditioning them with. So that's what it's all about. Like, if you think about it, a lot of our spirits got broken as children. We're like, I really was realizing that about myself. Like, as an adult, I'm getting back to who I was as a child, like what I believed in as a child. The spirit gets broken as kids. So, like, I'm always rambling, back to reflectors. They have to be a part of the communities, different communities. They have to see how different communities function. They have to see how different system functions. They have to see how the family dynamic functions, but like in a healthy way, because they feel so much pressure. They feel everything. And then they reflect it. What the fuck was I about to say next? I don't want to end this video like that. It was something else I wanted to say. Oh, I'm going to just go back over the themes of everybody, because, like, for the most part, that was it. So with projector children, they have to wait to be invited. So if you want to help guide your child in a healthy way, you invite them to things. You ask them, like, how do you feel about going here? Would you like to do this? Would you like to do that? And through that, they will learn how to honor their type. And, like, kind of if they tell you, well, Michaela, she kind of shut things down too quick. So with her, I give her the experience. I try to compromise with her and be like, try it. And then if she tries it, and then I ask her again, like, hey, would you like to do this? And her answer is no. Like, I don't force her to do it. I try not to. Like I said, I try to teach the kid, you got to learn new things. I try to get her in different environments. She doesn't always understand that, but I'm trying to expose her to different things so she can learn to find herself. Generator children are supposed to wait to respond. So you have to ask them, do they want to do things? And then they'll feel that or I mean, like, within reason, like I said, because they are children. So, like, sometimes they got to learn to bite the bullet so they can know, like, hey, you can't always do what you want to do. But to teach them to honor themselves, and especially as they get older, wait to respond. They cannot initiate. So you ask them to do things. Manifestor children, they are here to know their impact on others. So with them, you have to teach them to ask. And through asking, they will see how that